What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 33 tonight. I'm Kellen, your host. Go around and have everybody sort of introduce themselves. Start with Tim.
Hey guys, Tim here from Droid Life.
Hey, this is Ron.
And it's me, Eric.
So welcome back. This is 2 weeks in a row. It actually feels kind of good to be to have like sort of a mini streak. Actually, you have to hit 3 to technically have a streak going, but it feels good to be back again. A little bit to talk about, or a lot to talk about in terms of Motorola devices tonight. We've also wanted to just talk briefly about HTC One gold phones, if anybody's interested in gold phones. The Galaxy Gear, Samsung's new smartwatch on the way. We have a ton of apps. Seems like there's been a bunch of really good apps released lately, including a bunch of big revamps from Google. So let's jump into it. And, you know, I feel like we've been talking about the Moto X forever, but there's just so much to talk about. And Tim's got one now. He's got the Verizon one. He's had it for a couple days. So I just kind of want to kick off tonight's show with Tim's general thoughts. You guys know how I feel. I've already reviewed it, and I'm sort of a little bit obsessed for the moment. But Tim, let's hear it. What are your thoughts in general, Moto X?
My thoughts in general on the Moto X is so far, it's probably the best Android phone I've really ever played with. I'm sorry to all my Note 2. I'm sorry all my my Note 2 Colt fanboys out there. I love you all, but the Moto X is just, it's legit. Every time that I've brought it out so far in public and I've let people kind of play with it, they're kind of blown away too. I mean, the performance is great. It has some sweet features. Like, I cannot live without the active display now. That is like my go-to. Kellen said as soon as I got it from him, he was like, "You're going to fall in love with the active display." And I was like, all right, we'll see. And whenever I take it out of my pocket or just I look at it on the desk, it like pops up, and I'm like, man, this is the coolest thing ever. So beyond that, the hardware's great. It feels fantastic in hand. The camera, although kind of like what Kellen said, I mean, in certain situations it's okay. It's not too bad. It has to be the right lighting, but for the most part, it's total crap. When you take a video, you shouldn't have to see like grainy lines filtering through the image constantly. Like, that's just cheap. And they said I've been seeing some talk on Twitter that it could be like a software thing, but I've never had a good time with Motorola's cameras, so I kind of doubt it has anything to do with software. I think it's just something they're doing with their sensors. Beyond the camera sucking, the phone is really nice. I mean, I've had no problems with it. I absolutely love it. The performance is really good. I even made calls on it, and they sound great.
What? You actually called somebody on the phone?
I call well, they call me. I don't call anyone.
Oh, okay.
They call me.
Right.
So let's get
So
that
what about
right.
the display? What do you think of the display? Is it terrible because it's only 720p?
No, the 720 is just fine. I mean, it looks great. The battery is great. I think probably, kind of helps with that. It seems crisp enough. I've been running like some custom icons on it. It just looks great. The pictures seem fine. The colors are fantastic. The only difference is when say I'm using like a wallpaper pack that kind of comes preloaded with certain apps, like the app icon apps, like Nox and Tursus from Cover. All those wallpapers are kind of made for a 1080p device, so when I put them on the 720p device, they're really enlarged and kind of zoomed in quite a bit, and that is kind of a downer, but I mean, that's just me. You can find a wallpaper to work just fine with your 720p display. But beyond that, no one should be up in arms over the 720p display. I made a comment about 720p displays on the NVIDIA Shield review I did, but that's because something like that's handling big-time graphics and all that, like, it needs 1080p. Like, you want to see some real clarity and definition, but on a smartphone, I'm just not seeing the need for 1080p quite yet. I think this phone kind of re-solidifies that opinion, that 1080p is not quite necessary yet on a smartphone. And yeah.
But Quad HD by LG is totally. Okay, so what about performance? Are you missing the quad-core Snapdragon 600, 800, last year's processor? Are you missing it?
The octa-core.
So I mean, the last Moto phone that I really played a lot of time with was the Razr HD, and in comparison to the Razr HD, it's like night and day. The Moto X is just, it's fast. I mean, when you're kind of switching through applications, it goes real quick. I mean, there's not really like there's no lag. How about that? There's no, when you go into when you're swiping through your recent applications and multitasking, there's no hiccups, there's no glitches. And then even when you're going from when the screen is off and you say, "Okay, Google now," oh, and oops, sorry. it just went off. So you say that phrase, and instantly, it turns on. You put in your search, and it's good to go. Like there's no stuttering, like I've seen so many times on other phones. And just because it's not quad core, it still performs just fine, I think. So it's kind of hard. You kind of dropped this on me.
It.
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna have to be talking about the X so much, but I'm not afraid to talk about it because so far I love it. Like in that dimple on the back, every phone should have a dimple on the back.
You love the dimple,
dimple.
The dimple, you find yourself like putting your finger there, don't you?
Exactly, because it actually helps you kind of stabilize the device in your hand when you're kind of navigating around with your thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this phone is awesome. If I had to marry a phone, it'd probably be the X.
What?
If I had to marry a phone, dude, just saying.
Yeah, if Motorola could have put... Okay, so onto your camera, though. I was going to say, if they could have put a good camera in, I don't know that I want to fully write out the camera yet. I do think they could tweak it with software. Because there's some over-processing, and the video frame rate lag and stuff you're talking about, that should be able to be fixed, I would hope. So I think they could... But you're right, Motorola's produced terrible cameras since... I mean, the original Droid camera was terrible. They've all been terrible. So I have some sort of like hope that they could change it, but yeah, that might be just something you have to live with if you go Moto X.
Yeah, someone brought up the battery in the chat, and I just want to say, so far I'm loving it. I've been all out and about the past couple of days, and I'm gonna go on a trip this weekend and really like kind of test it out because I won't be on Wi-Fi the whole time like I am all day. But so far the battery's been great, no problems. I've been playing Dots like non-stop. So. And that game, it's not like super processor intense or anything like that, but I've been playing for a long time, and it's not dying.
But it is all white, though, which is never that great on battery.
Yeah,
it's like a white screen.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Could be.
I like it,
All right, so overall, your Moto X. Oh, what did you tell me the other day? You said you were out to dinner with a bunch of iPhone people, and what did they say?
Yeah, I was actually out to dinner with, I think, three out of the four of us had iPhones, and I was like, check it out, guys. Well, I always, say, like, I have a new phone, so they're like, oh, what phone do you have today? So I was like, oh, I have the X. And I was showing...
It's Tuesday, so...
yeah, exactly. So I showed off the ever listening stuff, like the OK Google Now, and really, I mean, to them, it was the customization, options that people can have once it's released, be able to choose the colors and all that. That really had them excited. And one was like, oh, that's my next phone, no doubt. So I was like, good. That's the way it should be.
Good.
Yeah, and Ron, I know, would be happy with that decision of his, too. So. Sorry, Ron.
Oh, you got your first is Tim getting paid by Moto. So, yeah, when are you driving home the Lambo?
The Lambo? Yeah. It's already out in the parking lot, bro.
Oh, that's me. I'm driving Lambo next week.
All right, so I think it's safe to say that you're so far a fan of the Moto X. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because you're one of the, the phone's not out yet, so not that many people have really, messed with it except me. So
yeah,
it's good to know.
I'm a super fan already. Like, I thought maybe, I don't know, it's kind of just hard to explain, but because I'm just here going off the top of my head. But what can I say? I love the phone. It's a great device.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I said after having it for a couple of days, I told people, which I don't say really ever, like just give it a chance because it's just a different kind of phone.
You're going to want to do that, definitely.
Yeah, just give it a chance. So we do have a custom one.
Oh, lucky.
I'm so jealous.
So jealous. I don't know if you can see the engraving. Oh, you can kind of see it.
Hello.
Focus, crappy webcam. Anyway, it says DL on there. So we kind of have like a super special edition one because they've like axed the engraving. You can't get engraving on the phone now because they don't think like the quality's all that well. And I don't know. It feels kind of like it could rub off eventually, so I don't really blame them for cutting it off. But yeah, this is like one of the only ones ever. Anyways, so you could customize phones coming Friday on AT&T is when that opens up, I believe. And I think we're going to run some sort of contest to let somebody design their own phone. We've kind of been talking about it a little bit. We're trying to hammer out details on that, but once it goes live, we might do a little something, get somebody a brand new AT&T Moto X that they can customize to their liking. So look out for that. We'll maybe have that figured out hopefully by Friday. So yeah, Moto Maker, Moto X, AT&T's the only one that's announced it so far, at least a date that I can think of. I don't think Sprint or US Cellular or obviously Verizon have actually said a date. We all know they're getting it. the most recent date we've got for Verizon's August 29th, and they change dates on the daily. So for all we know, that could be pushed out. So if you're on AT&T, you have your option to choose it this Friday. If you're on Verizon, though, you've got the Droids. Should we talk about the Droid Ultra a little bit? Since we finally pushed out a review of that today.
That phone's beast.
Yeah. So I've got it right here. Let's see if I can get the finger. Oh yeah, you can see it's all kind of blurry. Yeah.
Oh, gross.
It's so gross. Okay,
It's like it's greasy.
It's so greasy, and I just took a shower and I touched it and it looks like that. So Droid Ultra, I've had it for about a week now, and it was I'll say it was pretty easy to review because it's the same software that's on the Moto X, so it's same sort of software experience. It was just when I went into it, I was like, what's the hardware going to be like? Am I going to like a bigger phone after coming from the Moto X? Am I going to like the glossy backside and the capacitive touch buttons? And I think some people thought I was kind of harsh on the phone in my review. I thought most of it was pretty positive. It's just the design and build quality of this thing. It's just not for me. I don't like glossy. It's not really slick. It's just gross. When you say that, Eric, when you say that it looks gross, it feels kind of gross. It's just this see-through kind of glossness. I don't know. And it feels big to me. I think it's partly because of the capacitive touch buttons, because they add on a big chin, and then it's just not really a phone for me. And also, when you go 5 inches on a display and you're only 720p, I think you can actually tell a difference there. So I don't know. It's a decent phone, has really good battery life. I just don't personally care for that right there. If you can see that, so. I don't know. It's out though. You can go buy this right now.
I don't like it, but if you like it, you can go get it.
Yeah, this is gonna sound really bad, but it's one of those phones I'm not even really go check it out. Like the Moto X, I'm go give it a chance. This one, I would skip right past this one and go to the Max, which we're still waiting for a review unit on that. But if you are interested in the Droid phones, go look at the Max, because at least you have the really good battery life, and it doesn't have this backside. It actually has a soft touch backside. So. I don't know. What did you guys think about the Ultra now that you've sort of seen enough of it? Anyone interested at all in the Droid Ultra?
No.
Yeah.
No, if there's one Droid that I'm going to be interested in, it's the Max. And it's because of the battery life. Why?
Yep.
Why take the Ultra? I mean, I understand people like the thin phones, but for $50 more, you can get 48 hours of battery life. That is ridiculous.
No, I think it's $100. I think it's $299 on contract, isn't it?
Oh.
So you get double the storage.
Right? Okay.
$299.
Yeah, $299 for the Max, $199 for the Ultra, $99 for the Mini.
Yeah. So yeah, you get double the battery life, and then you get double the storage. So look at these next to each other. This is the size difference. I don't know if you can really tell. It's it's so much bigger. It's a half an inch up top. It's crazy.
Yeah. But even just looking at the two designs of those phones, I think it's pretty clear the X looks a lot better. Even if it was just in black, I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's just, and I kind of said in my review, is the Moto X seems like Motorola's phone that was designed with precision, and everything about it was designed the way they wanted to do it, and the Ultra just doesn't feel like that nice of a phone. It doesn't feel cheap. It's just the look of it. It's like the Droid brand from 3 years ago when they were let's do everything robotic and.
Yeah, well, it's just another iteration on what they were doing with the Razors for the last couple of years. So, which they're not. Every single time I've got my beautiful purple Razor sitting right here, but I also had a review unit of the HD, and they're not. Some of the edges are not lined up perfectly. There's a lot of little errors that you can see, or maybe not errors, may not be the right word, but it's just not as pristine and precise and well put together as some of the other phones that are out there. Especially when you compare it to something that's a little bit more high end, and with different materials, like the One, where it's everything is perfectly placed together and everything, And the Razors have just never had that feel, and so these new Droid lines just feel like kind of an extension of that, where they're plasticky and they just don't look like they fit perfectly together because it looks like they don't care about them, and they probably don't.
Yeah, it's really weird to think about. They pushed these out. Well, they announced these before before Motorola announced the Moto X, and now they're released, a week or so before. And Motorola doesn't even really acknowledge them. Like, I don't know that since they've been out, I've had a Motorola PR person send me anything about these Droid phones. It's all about the Moto X. All the press releases are coming from like Verizon and their PR firms and stuff. It's really weird.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that it's pretty clear that they're using their money from Google to go advertise the crap out of this thing, and they're doing a good job. There was an ad in I think it was a 3 or 4 page ad in Wired for this month's issue, and showing just different custom backs and everything else like that. It's similar to the press images they've had on the website and everything else like that, but just showing the different designs. And they have the wood one on there, which looks sick, and so it's just that's what they want people to try out. That's what they want people to get, and it makes sense because I think the X is a lot better phone than the software is the same, the internals are all pretty much the same, but that hardware and how it looks and feels is really, really different, and I think that's what people are going to care about, especially if they see the X and any of the new Droids side by side. Like, the software is going to look identical, so they're going to look at the devices themselves, and I think everybody's going to want to get the X, even if it's just in black.
So you've actually seen advertisements, huh? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're out. Well, because they did that full page ad like before they actually announced anything. I forget where it was, but the people jumping into the water or whatever. But yeah, on Wired it's a 3 or 4 page ad just showing like different customizations of it. So and it looks awesome. Like, it makes you want to go get that phone, just showing like all the different options in there. So yeah, they're out there doing it. So.
Huh. Yeah, I'm interested to see come Friday how that whole marketing blitz is going to go off. If they really do have some mega budget, they could do something kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe we'll see on every channel there's going to be an ad every 10 seconds or something. But yeah, Friday we should see that sort of explode, or maybe even Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but my video is all jacked up. I'm just going to exit and enter right back real quick. FYI.
I have permission to leave.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Tim. It was fine for me. Is it good for everybody else? I know some of the guys in the
me.
chat were mentioning. Okay.
Yeah, his video cut out and then he jumped back in, so who knows.
Yeah, that's right. So, Eric, the HTC One on Verizon comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Big news.
I know last week you said you'd kind of given up on the idea of getting it, but anything change in your mind now? We're on the eve of.
It's still... I mean, I'm going to give it... it's due... It's... the respect that it's due, I guess. I'm going to go in and look at it, because I haven't even, played with one in hand yet. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Everything is just through the screen at this point. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go in and, because right now, all I'm going to be able to look at is the Droids and then the HTC One. But I'm definitely going to look at them. It's going, like I said, I'm still kind of leaning toward the Moto X, but I don't know. I kind of want to feel it in person before I make a decision. I don't know. I don't like to make my mind up just from reading things off the spec sheet or seeing videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of phones for people to jump into stores and check out pretty soon. Like the one on Verizon, because all those people on Verizon have probably never touched one unless they know friends with it or they went into an AT&T store. So that's coming. All 3 new Droids. Because, Tim, what did the Droid Mini is actually coming out tomorrow now or something like that? Yeah. Or at least it's shipping tomorrow.
Yeah, apparently it's shipping tomorrow now. So that's cool.
So you've got the 3 new Droids. You've got the Moto X maybe by end of next week. And then maybe in a couple weeks after that, maybe even I always want to call it the Optimus G2, but just the G2. So, yeah, there's all kinds of phones.
And that other LG slider on Verizon.
Yeah. That's right, the LG Enact.
The Enact.
I didn't read that. I saw the picture.
That's all I saw.
That's all you needed to know. That's all you needed to know.
Yeah.
Keeping the QWERTY alive.
QWERTY!
Yeah, for those Droid 4 people that need upgrades.
Yeah, I literally had that conversation yesterday with one of my friends who has the Droid 4. I was like, eventually you're going to have to move on to on-screen typing. And he was like, yeah, I know, and I'm not going to like it.
Yeah,
that's how everybody feels.
Back.
You don't even know how many emails we get about, do you have any info on the next Droid 5 or whatever?
Oh, I know.
It's not happening.
It's a very hardcore group of people with the physical keyboards, and I'm respect. So it's just, unfortunately, I don't think anybody's going to keep up with them.
No.
And put decent specs in it, because that was the thing. They're like, oh man, why don't we take this and make it good? Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Poor QWERTYs. Poor QWERTYs. Go buy a BlackBerry or something. They're still doing
if you
it.
want a keyboard, go get a what is it, a Q10?
Yeah, the Q10.
Yeah.
I had one of those sitting on my desk at some point. It might still be around here, just because I wanted to try the.
You got to review it.
Whatever. And I played with it. Let's see. I put an account in the the all-in-one inbox or whatever BlackBerry does to get some emails coming in. I was like, I just can't do this. I didn't even there's no apps or anything. I just didn't want to waste the time. So then I just set it there, and I think the battery eventually just died within a day, and then that was kind of the end of it. I just couldn't. I don't know. The Z10 I might have given a chance because at least it was an all-screen device, but the Q10 thing was. And it has that really terrible-looking Kevlar back stuff that I can't stand. It's just not a pretty little phone.
No.
It was ugly. It had LTE though, and a really bad camera. So, anyways, yeah. HTC One tomorrow. Verizon. We think it's going to be available in just silver, but there could be black version too. I think that's sort of unconfirmed.
If there's a black
sure.
version, that'll weigh heavily in my decision if I'm gonna get.
Yeah, the black one's
No,
pretty
it's
sexy
not.
looking.
You're not gonna get the one, dude.
You're
Trust
gonna
me.
get the X. It's gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna get the X.
No,
You don't want the one. Just take it from me, man. Take it from me.
Take it from Tim.
Listen to your homeboy. who's got the moto check. You
Listen
don't
to the
want-
hottie
you
of
don't
the
want
week.
that
He's
HTC.
got the Listen to Tim and his Lambo.
Yep, getting the checks mailed to him straight from Motorola.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how paying somebody off works, right? They just in the mail.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I have so much money right now.
Oh yeah,
So much
way.
money.
you of all people should get the biggest check.
Can you guys tell how much money I have? I'm so rich.
I like your box fan, bro.
Yeah, that's how you know how rich I
That's
am.
top of the line box fan, okay?
Is that an upgraded box fan? I feel like it's silver now.
No, it's always been silver on the side, but
Oh,
I guess you got a little bit more glare.
you mean platinum? That's platinum box
It's
fan?
actually
Yeah,
gold.
is that your-
It's more of a champagne.
Yeah, that's great.
Speaking of gold, the
Oh,
gold
no,
iPhone.
Perfect transition.
Thanks for that,
Oh,
Ron.
it's like I'm a professional. Thanks for that check, Motorola.
Gold phones. We ran a poll yesterday that said, sort of tongue-in-cheek, would you be interested in a gold phone? And then, sure enough, Tim, the Samsung announces a gold flip phone today.
Yeah, I had no idea that was gonna happen.
You guys want a gold? We've got gold.
So we had a solid 84% say, nope, not really
Probably
interested
no.
in a gold
Yeah.
phone.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we need to use the power of our polls now and see what other colors we can make Samsung make phones out of. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
absolutely.
direct
Next
response.
day.
Yeah.
You're pretty
We
good.
need-
turnaround,
We need
Samsung.
hot pink. We need hot pink.
Yeah. You hear that, Samsung?
Hot pink
Hot
and black.
Hot
Flip
pink,
phone running
Sammy.
Android.
Yep.
Preferably
Yeah, how
donut. Make it
Yeah, how many
happen.
people said, why didn't you custom make a Droid or a Moto X in pink and black and
It just
gray?
wasn't pink
It's-
enough.
No, it wasn't. It was cherry colored. I sent you a
Yeah.
pic tonight, Tim. Yeah, it was cherry
Yeah.
colored and
It's not cool.
no, it just didn't look the same.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, gold phone. So they're making an iPhone that's going to be champagne colored, not really gold, right? It's going to be champagne, according to sources.
Yeah, according to sources, more of a champagne color. Kind of think when I think of a champagne colored car, I think of a Chrysler Sebring or whatever the hell they were called.
Yeah.
Just
Sebring,
some
yeah.
ugly vehicle.
Top-down coupe Sebring.
Yeah.
I don't think you can quite call that a spider Sebring because
I call it champ pain because, but it just looks terrible.
if they would have gone rosé, I might think of jumping.
Oh, nice. Now you're talking my language.
Some Bel Air, some
Yeah.
rosé. Yeah, so that's apparently actually I laughed. I saw I think it was Zach Epstein, one of BGR's writers, who said what would the media have been like if Samsung had announced a champagne colored phone 6 months ago? How would that have gone over? I thought that was kind of funny, just because Apple's doing it and it's champagne's awesome.
Anything that Apple does is awesome.
Oh, there were people that
I
thought
don't
that was
know.
awesome. I did not see one of those.
Yeah, I've only seen, and anybody who's seen Write It Up has said, I personally don't like this, but I can see why somebody would. And I'm like, if you don't like, I've not seen anybody who's writing about it. So they
Oh yeah, I haven't read it.
Well, why would
Well,
they?
they
I
did.
mean-
The thing is, they did. What was it? one of the iPods they did gold, and they ended up discontinuing it because nobody bought it. So the whole
Oh,
thing
really?
seems a little.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like the one with this like regular screen, and then they also did a mini in gold.
I
Or
think it's
whatever
just
the
a
heck it's
bad
called.
idea.
Maybe it was Shuffle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
just Apple trolling the hell out of all these sites because
That's-
like I
they
think
do that.
iMore
They do
like
that.
had it, and then All Things D, and like there was all of a sudden there was like 4 reports that were all like we can all confirm champagne gold something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody
I kinda
there
hope
was a
it's a giant
timeline.
troll job.
Apparently, people were just ignoring that, like champagne-colored parts had been showing up, and they were just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's, that's
Yeah, I remember somebody
happened."
wrote that up, saying that they've been receiving it. But all it takes is one site that's considered credible to say, "Hey, that's happening," and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
so if one of if it's like Wall Street Journal or All Things D, basically. So
And then it's a frenzy.
yeah,
And it is, yeah.
so because they're never wrong ever.
No.
Definitely 5 Nexus devices right now from
Yes.
totally different manufacturers.
All at the same time.
It's
Hey,
happening.
we got
for
three.
$300.
We got 3. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, we can stop talking about iPhone. Actually, do we actually have a firm date, or is it just All Things D reported that like September 10th was the day or something?
Well,
Is that it?
Jim Dalrymple from The Loop gave it a yep, so I think it's gonna happen.
Oh, Dalrymple.
Yeah.
That's the man.
Speaking
Cool
of people
guy.
getting paid, yeah.
Okay.
I like
Tim,
him.
do you want to talk about? Yeah. Tim,
What
do you want to
about-
talk about the Galaxy? Ron, did you say you like Jim Dalrymple?
He's a cool guy. He plays guitar and like, have you guys? He's pretty cool, and he's got a sick
Cool guy to
beard.
hang out with.
None of us have a sick beard like that.
Hey,
I cannot grow a beard.
I trimmed
me
mine the
neither.
other day. Otherwise,
I
it'd be
can't.
about
There's
this
like
long.
patches.
There's your
and-
mistake.
Yeah, Eric can
Eric's
grow.
the only one, and he's like the youngest guy here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actual facial hair.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Anyways, do I want
Anyways,
to talk
let's-
about what?
Do you want to talk about this Galaxy Gear? Because this Galaxy Gear, which is potentially Samsung's watch, is sort of starting to generate steam. It could,
Oh, it's-
September 4th, we're thinking September 4th with the Note 3.
Yeah.
Anyways, you
Oh, okay.
yeah, somebody had a big report on it. Giga-ohm.
Giga.
Yeah. Malik.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, fill us in on the Galaxy Gear. I haven't been able to keep up at all with it. Sorry.
Galaxy Gear smartwatch apparently coming from Samsung. Supposedly it's going to be unveiled right alongside the Galaxy Note 3 in Berlin on September 4th. As for when we could possibly see it, I'll get into what it could possibly feature, blah, blah, blah. But as for when it could hit the market, according to Giga-ohm sources, we could see it potentially sometime in October, a little bit after the Galaxy Note 3 would launch, here sometime next month. All speculation, nothing confirmed. But that's what we're looking at so far. The watch itself, oh boy. Well, it's not going to be a standalone phone, as reported by our own very Eric Reason. The Verge is where that originally came from. So it's just going to be it's going to be an extension of your smartphone, connect over Bluetooth 4.0, low energy, and then it's going to have a built-in speaker. Let's see, what? Was it going to have a mic? Sorry. I didn't think it was going to
I
have.
saw.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to have a mic.
Could, though. I
Well,
wouldn't.
it was originally reported that it would be able to that you'd
Like
be
you
able to do. You could have phone
talk.
calls, but it wasn't like
But
confirmed.
it wasn't.
that
It
would
didn't
be
have
a
a
phone.
radio. Yeah, of course.
Right. So
Right.
which I think Chris Ziegler at The Verge wrote that up first. That it's
Yeah.
not going to be a factual phone.
And it was going to have a 2.5-inch diagonal display, so that's diagonal length. Let's see here. It was supposed to come in a few different colors. I mean, man. And then there was going to be a whole bunch of like software tweaks on top of it that Samsung was going to do. One of the big things was that Samsung was only going to allow apps to be installed on it that were from Samsung's own app store and not off of Google Play. So basically closing in their own little Garden of Eden, thing where only the people that are publishing apps to their servers could distribute to people.
In other words, they're leaving Android behind. Anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a
So,
Grab the pitchforks. Let's take it down.
exactly. They're saying that it could come, it comes with I think it said a dual-core processor.
Yeah.
I'm going off the top of my mind right now. Dual-core processor, and then an OLED display. And yeah, that's about it. Basically, I hate talking about stuff because when so many leaks are coming out and it's all just words and not real pictures or anything like that.
Right.
I like to read with pictures. So when it's all just a bunch of like sources from all these different sites and all that stuff, I'm just like, screw it, I'm over it. Like with the Galaxy Note 3 specs, I'm completely over it. Like I'm waiting for September to come, and that's when I'll start talking about it again, because there's just so much info out there right now.
2 weeks from today.
Yeah, and you just don't know who to trust. It's like everyone's trying to hand you candy, but you don't know who's been touching that candy. So you don't want that.
Those words of wisdom right there.
Write that one down.
Who's been touching that candy?
Everyone's out there trying to give you candy. You don't know who's been touching it.
Leave me alone.
Just because somebody spray painted free candy on the side of that van doesn't mean that it's free candy.
It's not the kind of candy you want.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Stay away from any van.
Yeah, so apparently the watch is already in the hands of developers who are making apps for it, so that's apparently where this info is coming from, but again, nothing is confirmed.
Samsung's become really good at keeping stuff under wraps, I think. And I know like these stories are coming out, but they seem to be able to hold stuff until at least a couple of weeks before. You know, like the Moto X, and like the Moto X, that AT&T Vietnamese site, they had the original Moto X like in February or something.
Yeah.
It's like the same design. So, like Motorola can never keep anything, but Samsung seems to do a pretty good job.
That said, we don't know which things are controlled leaks or not. Right. And I'm pretty sure everything that they showed off the X, like you had Schmidt showing off the X, like everybody and their mom was like showing off the X way before it was even announced. So.
Oh well, that stuff I could see definitely being controlled, but like.
Well, that's blatantly controlled. It's like the CEO of Google, like, hey, I have an X. You want to see it?
Check this out. But the original, like seeing that in February or whatever, was just like, come on, that's ridiculous.
That came
must
out of
have been
nowhere.
Yeah. No way.
But it might have been. I mean, we don't know. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's not
For the most part, I think most
I
companies have gotten better, though, because I was looking back through Android Life stuff the other day trying to find a link to a story. And I remembered how many like code names we would go through before phones came out. We would sometimes go through like 3 code names before one phone came out, and it would be known as so many different things.
Yeah, I still call some phones by their code names just because that's what we called them for so long.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the Nexus devices, you just have to refer to them by their code names.
Nexus Prime.
Remember that?
Nexus Prime.
Yeah, and I can never remember now I remember what the rhyme was called, but it used to be called the Bliss. That was its code name. A lot of code names.
HTC does a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah.
EvLeaks used to just drop lists of HTC code names.
Yeah. Just like 5 or 6
when he was
at a
with
time.
Pocket Now.
I'm like, we don't know if these are going to be anything, but we've got some names for you.
Yeah.
Well, like today he dropped like 5 different Nokia code names.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, but no one cared.
They were Nokia code names, which is why apparently none of you just kept on scrolling. All right. Let's keep
Didn't hear that.
I did not. We did not get one email, and I did not see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Samsung stuff coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah. So we'll have all that stuff. Actually, did somebody report a story, or did we get a tip? I can't remember, that said that the Note 3, they might be ditching the 16 gig version because there's going to be so much TouchWiz crap that it'll take up all the storage. What was that from?
I just wrote that yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. But yeah, apparently, well, that was from Sam Mobile, and Sam Mobile just
that was Sam
around.
Mobile. Okay.
I mean, their whole site is just based on Samsung rumors and stuff. So I kind of like when they talk about Samsung stuff. Whoa, Cord. I tend to listen. So and they said that Samsung was apparently ditching 16 gigs because it's just not enough storage for all the stuff that they're putting on there. And then I was telling you, Kellen, I was like, dude, I mean, it's the Galaxy Note 3. Like, think about how much cool proprietary software is going to be on that bad boy. I'm so pumped. That's awesome. Because I mean,
that scares the hell out of me. I hated all the crap they put on the Galaxy S4, and now they're gonna like double down on it. Like,
no,
did that make sense? Problem on the S4 already?
Well, yeah. So you had a 16 gig S4. As soon as you take it out of the box, you're only left with 9 gigs of storage because there's too much crap. It's all camera software. I've never even touched a Surface, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, but I hear it's kind of bad. I hear it's not the greatest device ever.
No, it's not. They're great.
So, I like the commercials they have where they're all snapping the keyboards.
The commercials are cool. You're like, all right, I like keyboards now.
My sister, before going off to college, wanted a tablet and decided that a Surface would be the best for her adventures in college.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit, the keyboard is pretty nifty. Like,
Way better
all
than the
things
laptop.
considered. Yeah, all things considered,
Oh,
the
that's
keyboard's worth it.
And
Way
this
better than
is
laptop.
all
Not,
things considered.
nothing else. If I could take that keyboard and snap it onto an Android tablet, oh man, it'd be over.
Okay, but so on that thought, which this is totally kind of random, but so my wife's niece for graduation, she's graduated high school, and she wanted a tablet
Heyo.
with a keyboard combo instead of a laptop for college, and I was like, don't do it. I was like, get a laptop. Like,
Yeah.
how could you do anything? But maybe that's what the kids do. I don't know. Like, do we have any young people in the chat? Like, somebody fill me in there, because I was like, that's
Well,
not a smart move.
Eric's like still in college and he graduated.
That's true.
Like, a year
You
ago.
are still
Nobody's
in
using
college.
tablets. Well, like
Like,
they
you
are,
would-
but they're stupid.
No,
But
I
not
see.
for
I see people taking
school.
notes on iPads, and I want to smack them up the side of the head.
Yeah.
They don't even have keyboards. They're just sitting there, finger pecking,
Right.
like taking notes. I'm like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. I saw like one or two people doing that, but they like you can't get work done. Like
Right. Like
you
real
can't
work.
really write
Like
papers or
real
anything.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you got to write a paper and you have to do anything with margins, which you definitely do, or have any fonts that anybody actually uses, like teachers require specific fonts. Like
Mhm.
can't use Google Docs, can't use any like. You can maybe do it with an iPad, I guess, if you have like Pages or something. But like that'd be the only option really, if you have something crazy like that, or if you get like whatever. If there are any word processing apps for on Android that have survived and haven't been bought and destroyed, then you'd have to do that. But I mean, that's it. Like you can't do it in Docs. I can tell you that right now.
Okay. All right.
So-
So I'm not
17
crazy
is
in telling them. I was like, what? I was
No.
like, no, don't
No,
let them
not at
do
all.
that. Okay. I
No.
thought it was just missing out. There's like a whole generation of people that are like,
Trust me,
we don't
you're
need
not that far.
laptops. We just do tablets. And I was like, that doesn't
No.
make sense.
Yeah, there are people that do it.
Laptops
I
don't
don't,
do apps.
Yeah, but see, now you can buy like a Windows 8, and you can still get the whole tablet experience. It
Yeah.
might be
Well,
terrible, but it's there.
I'm gonna start. Class starts next week, and I'm gonna start using this Chromebook
Yeah.
oh, good
as
luck.
my primary note-taking thing, and that's pretty much stretching it right there. I can pretty
Yeah.
much take notes,
Yeah.
and then, that's about it. So,
Well, just pray
Yeah.
it's not a 4-hour lecture, because it's gonna die before.
yeah, right.
Before it's
So,
over.
Seriously. Yeah, I just sit by a charging port. I have my little, what did I have? I had an Asus EPC, and I had it running like Chromium or something like that. And you can do it, but
But it sucks.
yeah, and it's always a bummer when you realize that you lost internet connection an hour ago and so all your notes are gone.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
Yeah.
my friend, is in college, and she's using a transformer pad with the
Is
built-in
that the
keyboard.
geisha? I'm just kidding.
So,
Howdy of the week.
I know, right? Thank you to all my female listeners out there. I love you.
All of them.
All of them. Anyways,
all right.
hey, I'm trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
Don't tell it.
Okay, tell it.
Tell
So-
it real good.
Transformer pad, so she got a transformer pad just to take notes in her school, and essentially then you have like a $500 like note-taking machine, and to me it's just not worth it. So yeah, and that's all I really wanted to say.
Yeah. I tried doing it. It's just it's hard to do unless you've got like, especially if you want to take notes where you're like typing what somebody's saying verbatim, like you have to have a good keyboard.
Well, the problem isn't taking notes themselves. I mean, well, if you don't have a keyboard with your tablet, it's rough. But when you take them on a laptop or something, you can easily file manage. File management is one of the hardest parts of a tablet, And even on this freaking Chromebook, it's pretty much, if I didn't have the process streamlined through my Google Docs and folders within folders within folders, it would be a nightmare.
And it's still kind of crappy in Drive.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Interesting. College life. All right. Any other big topics that we've missed before we jump into apps and games that you guys want to toss out there?
No, just
No.
go check out the Moto X when you get a chance.
Yeah. Listen to us, because we all got paid to say that we should get the Moto X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is on the... We're still waiting to get a Max. I know a lot of you want us to review the Max. At this point, we'll probably, once we get one, we'll just battery test it, because it's the Ultra with a
same.
big battery.
Yeah.
So, but Tim, you're gonna do that because you haven't had the Ultra yet, so you'll go Max, test the battery,
Sweet.
do some work.
I think it's not even going to touch my Wi-Fi. It's going to be on pure.
Oh yeah, you gotta go just battery for
4G
like 2
all
weeks
day.
straight. Yeah.
48 hours.
Raw battery.
Raw battery.
The last Droid, what was it? Droid Mac. What did they have? Razer
Max
HD Max.
Razor HD.
Yeah.
Razor HD. Yeah.
With 8 X's. Yeah, that one kept going and going and going. So
That was like, what, 36 hours, right?
I think it was only quoted at 24.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That was 36 hours. All right,
I
you
think
could
it
be
was
right.
36.
I think it was 36.
I think it was 36.
Maybe it was.
It could
But this is 48.
48. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's coming hopefully eventually, and then the one comes out. We talked about this, but the one comes out tomorrow. We've looked at the one like 10 times, so we might just tell you to go read our previous reviews and just think about Verizon's network. I don't know. So that's coming. We don't know if we'll review that one or not. It's kind of done with by now. But it's still a good phone. If you're interested in the one, go get it. I'm not telling you not to.
No.
And then guys, keep calling it the Optimus G2. G2 will be here in a few weeks. Hopefully we'll get our hands on that as well. So let's talk apps and games. I feel like there's been a bunch of really good stuff over the last couple of weeks. So I stole what I think is probably one of the best one, and that's Timely. If you guys haven't checked out Timely yet, it's an alarm clock app, which we normally don't talk about because alarm clock apps are about as boring as it gets. Like, how fun is it to talk about an app that wakes you out of a deep sleep in the morning? But Timely is really cool. It's got a tablet UI. I believe it's free, at least for now, maybe just a limited time. I don't know if it's forever. There is a premium version that's a couple bucks, and it cloud syncs all of your alarms. So if you have a tablet, I don't know why most of you'd use an alarm on your tablet, but if you do, you can cloud sync it. If you have multiple phones, like weird bloggers do, you can sync your alarms between all of your different phones. It's just got a really, really neat UI. It's all gesture-based. You can set up like custom themes on it. It has some really cool potential. It's one of those apps I wish I had a reason to use all the time, but it's just an alarm clock app, so it's like set it and forget it.
Why can't I wake myself up more times during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm finding reasons to like use the stopwatch just because it looks really cool.
Just start taking naps, just constantly.
Seriously, I'm gonna start taking naps in the middle of the day, Tim.
Power naps.
Good to know.
Yeah. So anyways, it's called Timely. It's in Google Play. We've written it up. I do believe it's free, although for some reason I thought somebody said it was only free for a limited time before it goes fully premium.
It is still free right now, though.
It is, yeah. So definitely check it out. It's a really, really cool app. Yeah, Tim, what do you got?
Sounds about as awesome as an alarm clock app.
Seriously.
Let's see, I got two things on my list. I wanted to first talk about our buddy Dave Cover's Knox icon pack. Boy, is it hot.
It's pretty good looking.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I mean, it's squared. It's not circular or anything. It's squared, and it's not flat either. It's almost flat, but then also so the application icons themselves in the icon are they cast a shadow, so it kind of brings like a little 3D effect to the phone. I kind of wish I had like an HTC Evo 3D to really get that full effect. But since I don't, I'll just have to use 3D glasses. But yeah, Knox, I think it's $199 on Google Play, N-O-X. But and we've written it up. If you just search Knox Droid Life on Google, you can't miss it. Great pack. Dave is always doing some sweet work, and even on top of the icons, I've been using his wallpapers exclusively on the Moto X.
His wallpapers are hot.
And they look super hot. They look hot, just like Eric said. They're hot.
Are they hot?
I'm actually using one right now too, the gray one with the angles.
That's the exact one I'm using.
I'm using the colored version of that.
Oh yeah, I like that one too. But
I like that one too because it goes well with these icons on the Moto X.
Moto X.
Yeah,
that's
so
near you.
That's $5 per mention, man. Moto X, Moto X, Moto X.
I got payments to make now. So that's the first app I want to talk about. The second app is a game, and it's called Dots, D-O-T-S. Basically the most addicting game I've ever played in my entire life. I think it was on Sunday. I didn't leave my house. I sat on my couch. I watched How I Met Your Mother and played Dots all day long. And I got to like a high score of like high 300s or something. So basically there's like 5 different colors of dots all in a squared grid. Basically you try and touch, the same colors, and your main goal is to make squares. And how big your square is, how long the line is, and then you square it off. It all adds up to points. And It's dots. It's a game about connecting dots, and that's it. It's easy, but so fun, so addictive, and I've already got tons of friends addicted to it, and we all love it, and we all go back and forth and challenge each other. So it's a great time.
And it's free. Is it free?
It is free.
It is free
on Google Play.
It was a big iOS game first, I think.
It's been on iOS forever. Probably not ever, but for a while. Like
I think it just came out on iOS like maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah, which is pretty much forever in the span of an app's life. That's forever. Yeah. So, because it came out maybe a couple months ago or a month or so, I saw my friends play and I was like, oh man, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's dots. And I was like, oh, let me see if it's on Google Play. Of course, it wasn't. And now by the time that it's already on here, they don't even play it anymore. Nope. So, fucking iOS. Yeah,
Ron's been there.
Ron's been there, done that.
Dots.
Oh, isn't that a sexy looking game?
Dots.
I'm terrible at it, but yeah, it is fun.
I was pretty bad, but then once you start using the little power-ups that they got and stuff, you start getting
power-ups.
Points.
Dang, man.
Oh, I'm all about the shrinker.
Sounds complicated.
Shrinkers are awesome.
Oh,
Ron,
Eric, you gotta play this game, dude. It's so fun.
I'll have to try it.
Ron giggles when I say shrinker. But yeah, so dots. And oh, you know what? And then also I want to throw out just real quick a game called True Skate, TRUE Skate, SKATE. It's like a little skateboarding game, but you use your fingers to flick on the screen and flick on the board when you do jumps. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna get into it. It's $1.99 on Google Play. You're gonna want to check that one out too. It's the coolest skateboarding game on Google Play that I've played on the Moto X. And
shots fired.
Shots fired! I hate it when you say that because I have no idea what the hell you mean. But alright, shots fired.
Moto X.
Anyways, I'm done talking about the Moto X.
Timely just got an update, by the way.
Oh.
It's like they
should install that on your Moto X, Tim.
I might think about it. Well, let me turn on my Moto X.
Yeah.
Ron, did you have a game you want to talk about?
I have a game. I think it's pronounced Rimmed Capsule. It's spelled RYMDKAPSEL, and it's kind of a RTS game, I guess. But basically, you have the premise of it is like you have a couple. You start off with like two little minions, I think they're called, and you're basically gotta build out. You build out roads, and then you build out places where you can like an armory and a farm and a kitchen, like a bunch of other things, so you can like make more minions, and you got to try and expand out to reach these monoliths, and those give you different powers. So eventually people come and attack you, and so you can like slow down the attacks, you can get longer range attacks, and a couple other things. But then basically there's like waves that are coming of enemies, and so you build up your defenses and build up the number of little minions you have, and try and last as long as you can. So there's different like little achievements you can reach, and you have to reach like you have to unlock all 4 monoliths. You have to unlock all 4 of them within a certain amount of time, and then last a certain number of waves. I don't remember how many waves you last, but anyway, I think it's a lot of fun. So especially if you have friends that have it and compete with scores and how many waves of enemies you can last. If you get it on a tablet, because it's kind of hard to play on a phone because there's just a lot of details going on. It's like trying to play Risk on your phone. It'd be hard to do. So. But check it out. It's a pretty cool game.
Oh, yeah, it's got really good reviews.
Yeah, it does.
It's $4.
It's a little pricey for an Android game, but I think it's worth the money. I played a lot, so.
Nice. I forgot I wanted to talk about the new Yahoo Weather app.
Yes.
I don't normally use a lot of Yahoo apps, but the new Yahoo Weather app is really nice. Super minimal. There's all kinds of cool details involved in there. They did a really nice job with it. Although, didn't they? I think it was J.R. Raphael for Computer World, like posted screenshots from it and how they misspelled San Francisco in it like 10 different times in the app. Like in the widgets all said like San Francisco. They like left out the R or something like that. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
San Fan?
But like any weather app, you can add multiple locations, but it does this really cool thing when you go from page to page for city to city. You can scroll up and look at your forecast and wind and precipitation and sun, moon, all this stuff. It's really well designed. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come for other Yahoo apps if anyone uses other Yahoo apps.
A lot of the pictures they use are just gorgeous. Like you posted ones on whitefish, and I was just like, man, I would never think about traveling to Montana. but that actually looks kind of pretty.
But now I have a flight booked.
It's a flyover state.
Yeah. So it's like here's San Francisco actually correctly spelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking gorgeous.
Yeah, so they got pictures from Flickr, so nobody uses Flickr, but they have pictures from there, and so they change, so you can but then the details on there, they've got the full forecast and how long the sun's going to be up and all that. So as you scroll through, they've got maps of where the weather's going to be, wind pressure, precipitation. I think the only thing they don't have is UV. Nope, there it is. Okay, so they have everything. So
I just heard those notification noises, and I was like, "Wait, where's my phone?"
Yeah, but it's a really, really good. If you're looking for a weather app, I still like Eye in the Sky a lot, but I think if you're just looking at the weather in an app, if you're not using widgets, Yahoo Weather app is really, really awesome just for the Flickr pictures alone.
Yeah, it is really nice, and it has a widget too, but the widget's kind of ugly, I think.
Yeah, I'd use Eye in the Sky.
Yeah. So that's sweet. Oh, bunch of big new Google apps updates. YouTube, intense overhaul, yeah. So YouTube now looks card style. Really, it looks good. I looked at it. I didn't realize how ugly the old YouTube app was until I sat it next to the new YouTube app, and it looks really nice. And they did, but the best thing besides how it looks is the continue playing feature, so you can browse through other videos. You can do a little swipe down, and it tucks it in the corner. Really cool. Game changer, kind of. So that happened. Keep, Google's note-taking app, or list app, if you want to call it that, is got a big update today. It's got reminders, location-based reminders.
Location-based.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. You can add photos to it much easier. And then Google Plus also got a pretty big app with multi-account support that actually works, and pull to refresh.
Whoa!
I know. And they finally took out Messenger completely. It just says Hangouts now.
Rest in peace, Messenger.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And yeah, those are all the big Google ones. Chrome got an update today, and so did Hangouts, but they're minor. I think Google Music got one earlier this week too, but it was bug fixes or something.
Nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, go get that new YouTube if you don't have it yet. I think the mass rollout.
YouTube is hot.
Yeah. I think the mass rollout, I think we're through the early stages. It's now going out to everyone. I think you could just go grab it if you haven't already. New icon. Yeah, big things.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, you got something?
Yeah,
App or something?
let's talk about SwiftKey Cloud. It came out today officially to the Play
Cloud.
Store. It is a lot of people were having trouble signing into it this morning because you had to sign into the cloud with your Google account, but it's working now. I just signed in about 10 minutes ago. How awesome is that? If you just sign in on all of your devices, and it'll just save everything, and you can get the same suggestions on each one of your devices. You even got the little trending topics. So if some Taylor Swift is trending on Twitter, you have to text your friend, tell them to go look at it. It'll know you're talking about Taylor Swift. So it's pretty nifty. I'm a big fan of SwiftKey, and it's on sale right now, so it's half off. So if you don't have it, I would highly suggest going to get it right now.
Yeah, I haven't used SwiftKey in a while for some reason. I was using Flexi like crazy. For some reason I was obsessed with that for a while. And then I've been using just the stock Google keyboard on the Moto X. Yeah, drink people in the chat. I know you're playing a little drinking game.
Yeah.
What, whenever you say Moto X?
Yeah.
Yes, they're playing a game now. In case you guys didn't catch that, they're playing a drinking game now every time we say it.
Moto X.
They're going to be wasted.
Yeah.
We're about to get everybody shit.
Moto X.
Hold on.
So yeah, anyway, SwiftKey though, I haven't used it much lately, but the cloud thing, now that you can sync that between all your different devices, because I use so many damn phones all the time for testing purposes and stuff, that would be really nice actually to have it do that, especially if you go from tablet to phone or something. But
yeah, they're like bloggers. Check out our new feature.
Hey, all of you guys.
I know. I love it when companies create features that are blogger specific. It's awesome. Anyways. There was something else I was just going to bring up, and now I completely forgot.
Was it the Moto X?
It might have been.
It might have been the X.
It might have been them. Oh, no, somebody wanted me to talk about the Moto Skip. I forgot about that little thing. Where is it?
Why?
I'm actually really interested in that. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, here it is.
In
Look at this
person.
little thing.
What a waste of space. I don't.
So, I did kind of a review, if you want to call it that. I did a hands-on with it. it doesn't really work that well. So it's got all sorts of bugs. Like if the active display's like blinking at you and you have notifications, it totally won't unlock. I'm sure an update could fix that, but so it doesn't really unlock. Like I had to all the time actually press the lock switch and have it show like the lock screen with my pattern unlock, and then touch it, and then it would work. But with the active display like flashing, I could never get it to unlock. So I haven't used it since, but I don't think it's gotten an update because there's a Moto Skip app. I would assume that probably needs to be updated. So it's. I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't really use a pattern or pin because I sit at home all day by myself, and so I just have swipe to unlock. So I don't really have necessarily a use for it, but I could see how if you're a pattern pin guy, it could be really cool, especially if they're giving away for free, which they are going to be doing for a little bit. But I don't know. Yeah, did you have questions about it?
Here's the thing. I'm usually just swipe to unlock, but I'd really like to get the security of a pattern or pin. So this is really interesting to me because I walk around all day with a backpack, strapped across my chest. If I could just throw that on the strap of my backpack, and when I take out my phone, just tap it against that, and it works reliably, I think I would get a lot of use out of that. But it's been getting pretty mixed reviews. I didn't know it's stuck to the phone.
Yeah, and it hasn't unlocked it. Like it's not unlocked, and it's like stuck right there. Like this is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, if it did, I mean that'd be a pretty cool, because like if you have an Exchange account by default, those have passwords unless your Exchange administrator turns those off. So if everybody has works in corporate or has a school account that uses Exchange, you're required to have a PIN.
Oh right, yeah.
So that can be disabled, but nobody ever disables it. So I think there's a lot of people out there that would like that idea, that are constantly unlocking their phones and having to put in a password, and that does get annoying. So if you have something like that to make it a little bit easier, and then if your phone gets lost, at least you're covered. So, and even if somebody took your phone and swiped it across the little skip and then ran away with it, they'd still have to put in the password to turn it off. So
yeah,
you'd be covered.
It definitely makes a lot of sense if you're one of those people that has to have a pin or pattern on there. It makes sense. Tim, send me a Hangout message or something. I want to test the active display.
Lucky you, I was already on my Moto X. Let me see what I can do. Send.
Please hold.
Okay, so it's blinking.
Enjoy that, listeners.
So blinking, and I set a pin. I'm rubbing the back. I'm rubbing it all over the back.
I don't want to hear this.
That sounded really bad.
Essentially rubbing it.
And it's not unlocking. There it goes.
Oh,
I finally got
it.
So it worked way down there where the NFC chip isn't even. You can't really see that.
What a buggy piece of crap.
So
sorry,
there
Moto.
3 sweet spots.
X.
There, I got it to do it there. So and now it unlocked way up there. So it's just completely inconsistent. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Could be cool if. Maybe I just don't know how to use it. That could be.
Yeah. Well, it could just be that it's more sensitive on certain areas for the chip.
Yeah. So they'll have multiple colors of these. Right now they only have this gray one, and it does actually attach because it has a magnet. So kind of a neat little thing. You get 3 little NFC stickers with it, and I actually believe you can use any NFC sticker. You don't have to use the special Motorola ones. I think it says in settings that it works with the dots or whatever they call them and NFC stickers. So if you have a bunch laying around, don't go buy a bunch. You could probably just use it right out of the box. So.
But no Samsung tactiles.
Oh yeah, the tactiles. Yeah, those didn't really catch on, did they?
I don't see why they would.
I don't. I liked Samsung when they were trying to really push NFC stuff, because I think if there's ways we could integrate NFC into our lives, it'd be cool. I just don't think anyone's figured out a really good way to do it yet. So, I guess I should say Google tried to with Google Wallet, but we know how that got shot down.
Rest in peace. Physical Google Wallet.
That still makes me mad, because a lot of the transit stations in Portland all have, PayPass or whatever it is. You could totally use your phone, and unless I'm carrying a Nexus, I can't use it to pay for passes. It's terrible. Yeah. So, and Portland doesn't have a free zone anymore like we used to, so you actually have to pay all the time. It sucks.
Anyway. Downtown, they took out that free zone?
Yeah, there's no more free zone downtown.
What?
Yeah, it sucks. Well, everyone used to. I know this is kind of off topic. Everyone used to ride it for free over to Blazer games.
Yeah, they did.
And now you can't. They make you, and they actually set up barricades and have security guards at the Blazer
they're not
games.
nice about it.
Yeah, they'll ticket you now. So, yeah,
great.
Terrible. Those are First world problems. Anyways, that's I think all.
Pretty sure it's just
all
Portland problems.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
So I'm in the first world and don't have that problem.
No. Well, you guys probably anywhere else probably didn't have a free zone, which we had forever, and we were completely spoiled by. So.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think that's about all I got. Unless you guys have any other things. I don't have any like breaking news.
No.
How about the
breaking news?
shout out to S23 in the chat? How about the NFL Sunday Ticket rumor with Google? That could be really cool.
That could be cool if that happens. That could be.
Yeah, it's just hard to get excited about it when it's still so far away. I mean,
Yeah.
the rights for DirecTV still don't go out until the end of the 2014 season, so we still got 2 more football seasons, full seasons of football madness to get through before we even start talking about it. But it would be cool.
Still,
sure, why not?
Definitely.
Google purchasing anything that costs like $1 billion+ is badass. So go for it, Google. Larry Page, you're the man. Do it.
Yeah, they could completely do it. Although I don't. It seems like it would be kind of a weird move, but hey, I guess that would get a ton of people to YouTube, right?
I guess. I feel
Or
like
would they
if they're
set up
going
a
to
different
do,
service?
I don't know. Well, I know that
That's
they're head
how
of
they get-
YouTube.
Yeah, that's how they get the YouTube paid channels to start working.
Right.
That's right. 'Cause
Somebody's finally
going to
buy a YouTube paid channel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that would be
well,
like
because
the
no
only
one's
paid channel.
no one's paying monthly for a UFC channel. So
No.
maybe if you get a real sport on YouTube, then
Oh, shots
people might
fired.
start watching it. Shots fired! Shots fired! Oh my God!
Moto X.
Sorry, UFC fans. Like I like watching. I just don't think it's a sport to watch 2 guys beat up each other. So.
I'm
Really?
No, like
literally a sport.
You know, like I get it. Like I'm just
It's definitely a sport. I'm just
not into
You don't
watching.
watch it. I'm just
So
saying.
it's just not a personal
classified.
preference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's crazy intense sport for sure.
Oh,
but I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm just not into watching it now.
Yeah, I feel bad for those guys. Like, come on, leave them
You feel
alone.
bad for them. They're choosing to
Stop being
pummel
good.
each other. Yeah.
I know, but it's just it looks like it hurts. So, and I'm total pacifist, man. Like I just don't
Yeah.
free peace.
But speaking of those YouTube channels, are those actually like out there? Do they do paid subscriptions now? Like, did people actually attempt that and just no one does?
So it's only a
I'm
couple
not buying
channels.
anything. Yeah, there's not a lot. I think there's like an Animal Channel and a few others, but
Oh, okay. It's not like all those like YouTube star people or like have their own page.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
They might, but-
People are still making plenty of money doing what they are now, and they don't want to
Right.
opt into this paid channel and then risk losing all of those followers.
Yeah, but isn't
Yeah.
like couldn't you do? I don't know how it works. But couldn't you just say like how app developers do it? You charge $2 a month and you just don't have to see ads or something like that. Couldn't they do the same thing, or is it all in one way or the other?
I don't know if those are ad-free necessarily.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure Google still wants to make money on them, and they probably don't have that big of a
Yeah.
cut. And I'm sure they'd want to play ads against
It's
them
a-
like Hulu does,
Okay.
which is
yeah.
insane.
Well,
You
that's
pay
just
for
Still a
Hulu
very
and still
developing
see ads.
situation.
Huh. That's weird. All right, sweet. I don't have anything else. You guys want to wrap up?
UFC
Sure.
fans are pissed. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, they're gonna be real pissed.
I'm gonna have to go into hiding for a while. Like, I
Yeah.
know it's a sport. Let me clarify. I know it's a sport. It's just like not my sport, and I don't see the sport in actually like trying to kill someone else. You know, like.
So you're saying if you had to marry a sport, like you had to marry the Moto X?
If I had to marry a
wouldn't be
sport, it would just be baseball. I mean, baseball's so awesome. You know, people call it
Why are the
boring,
Giants so terrible this year? Didn't they win the World Series last year?
but we lost a lot of our starting players thanks to injuries, and I think that's what kind of did it. Our pitching staff
Were
has
they
been
in UFC in the off season or something?
yeah,
They're
right,
trying to
getting
kill each
beat
other.
up on. I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about it. We are so far back. It sucks. We got creamed
Yeah,
by
you
the
are.
Red Sox today. It's just painful.
The Red Sox are
Hey,
at least really
well,
good. So that's
football's
not,
here,
all I know
so
is my
you can just
Braves
stop
are like
paying attention to
dominating.
baseball.
The Braves.
Dominating. Best
The
league in
Dodgers
baseball.
will dominate
Best
your
record
in
best
baseball.
league to get into the
Best league in
postseason.
baseball.
Okay, not
Braves.
best league. I meant best record because
Yes.
their division's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're competing with the Phillies and
The
well,
Nationals,
yeah.
the Mets.
Both of those teams are not doing
Oh,
very
the
well.
Mets. I heard they're pretty
nobody
good,
else.
right?
Nobody else in the division's above 500. So it is like the worst division in baseball, but they're still dominating.
I thought
I'm
the
just saying-
Nationals were like picked to go to the World Series this year.
That was their
Yeah,
they were. That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, the Dodgers are on a roll and will destroy the Braves once they meet in the postseason. So, the end.
No chance.
All right, we'll see. Apparently, it's too late for me in the comments section. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're done, dude.
It's over for you.
Done.
I didn't mean it. I always say stupid things when I'm drinking. What is this? Vegan, gluten-free chai, caffeine drinks.
Yeah. You should stick with the rum and coke, like I do.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, then I'd say some real stupid stuff.
I use an iPhone.
And I'm gonna buy the next one.
Champagne.
I'm gonna buy so many gold iPhones. Just so you guys wait.
God.
I'm gonna make it rain.
I'm gonna take all my Moto X money and buy so many gold iPhones.
I cannot wait until the gold iPhone market takes off. The
The gold iPhone next to
shady
the
eBay gold
cheap iPhone as well. The plastic piece of crap iPhone is coming out as well.
None of them are gonna have NFC. It's gonna be great.
They better not call it the 5C. It's got to be a better name than that, right?
Well, I don't know. I kept on thinking they were.
What does that even stand for? Is a 5 cheap? Like
I don't know.
That's
Well, because
what I said.
they don't say it stands. Like the 3GS was the last one they actually said that the S stood for anything. Like the 4S people like joked that it stood for Siri, but they never said what it stood for. I think they just said at
Sport.
the end.
I thought it just meant like sport.
So I was thinking about this the other
Like
day. I was
UFC?
like,
This is the sport model.
Yeah, the sport mode. It was slimmer.
It's sporty. It's
No,
sporty
it's
size.
slim down.
that would not be the UFC model if it's the sport model.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
I
not
was
sporty
thinking
enough.
yesterday. I was like, how does the iPhone try to convince people that it's not like a mid-range phone anymore? Because that's, if you want a
top of the line.
safe like mid-range phone, that's the iPhone now.
No,
And then-
because those people don't care about specs or
They don't
anything
care,
like
yeah,
that.
they don't.
Yeah,
But
I don't care at all.
We know
but
you
back
don't.
when it first launched, the
Yeah,
iPhone
you
was
I like
a
the
Moto
great
X.
signal.
That's why you like the purple razor.
Drink Moto X.
And then I was like, they just make a cheaper version of their phone, and then everybody is convinced that the iPhone, the regular one, is top notch again.
Yeah. See that?
Like,
Reverse
they just,
psychology.
they just
Reverse
invented
psychology.
their own. They just invented
so
their own
sneaky.
market.
God, the C
Yeah.
stands for cook because this is all Tim Cook's idea.
Tim Cook
This
wants
is
that
Tim
stock
Cook's
track.
first idea.
Yeah.
And it's a cheap.
Guys, what if we made it out of plastic and made it a little cheaper? What do you think? Huh?
Stocks are gonna go through the
Steve
roof.
Jobs caliber idea? Is that good enough?
iPhone 5.
Next thing, he's
I
gonna
love
come
it.
out in the sweater and the jeans when they announce it.
Oh my goodness. That'd be so awesome if you just like tried to mimic him and everything.
Twitter.
Or if they brought out
would blow
Ashton
up.
Kutcher for the launch event. Make him fine.
I thought they were just gonna have a Steve Jobs hologram like they did with Tupac. I thought this has
Oh,
already
yeah.
been rumored.
That would be
so,
awesome.
That would
Rumored?
actually-
I think you mean confirmed is the word that you're looking for.
Oh yes,
Yeah, iPhone 5 confirmed.
but
That's
we
what
all
I'm
know the
saying.
nature of rumors and confirmation. So
Mm-hmm. They're all true, always.
I'm sure always. Anyways,
Yeah, let's wrap up there. Thanks for joining us.
R.I.P.
tonight. Episode 33 in the books. It's just him
Pour it out.
that hates UFC that much. The rest of us are fine.
Yeah, I love all sports and definitely watch them all.
Yeah, Ron
So-
is the ultimate UFC fan, by the way.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. How is that a sport in like WWE wrestling?
You're still going? You ain't even buried. Just like, let it be.
It's all the same thing. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's like
Seriously.
even that actually. I think that might actually be worse. You just compared it to WWE.
Yeah, now people are gonna get really
I'm
mad.
just-
Now you're like,
You're
really?
okay until then.
You called
Just
it not a
kidding,
sport.
folks.
Now you just called it like an act.
You know we're still on air,
It's like
right?
an
Like, what's
act.
happening?
Oh, is that what that red blinking light means?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
no.
Geisha Life is not going to appreciate you anymore. You're going to be
Oh,
off the
That's
list.
awesome.
Shout out to the Geisha Life.
Wow, we're
That's our new site. A lot of you guys have noticed we've been talking about different operating systems. We're going to become the Geisha Life now. No hyphen, just going all
Nice,
Geisha
guys.
all time.
Come on.
It's happening, guys.
This is just getting worse and worse.
Mhm.
Okay, we're really gonna cut this off now. Episode
to the end of the
33,
podcast.
the books.
I
We're
appreciate
actually
it.
going to be back next week, so
I
we
like
will
all
see you.
the readers and fans.
We will see you next week. We're out of here. Enjoy life.
Peace out.
Deuces.